The Technology Development for Poverty Alleviation Initiative, TD4Pi, is an Internet of Things IoT training hub located in the Kuje area of Abuja. It is a community and non-profit hub founded in the year 2009 by Dr. Agu Collins Agu that have trained over 500 young engineers for free. What are the aims and objectives of TD4Pi? Dr. Agu explained.
This is a community hub, basically creating opportunities for people that are below the breadline. In line with the philosophy of a digital inclusion, which is also one of the philosophy of the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy. And also we have things we develop in embedded programming, things that involve automation, that can drive spacecraft like your satellite system, yes, wow, rocket system as well, your autopilot of rocket system, just like when you have your drone with autopilot. All is being developed here, absolutely. Wow. We're creating that intelligence that can help drive. So it is like NASA may be interested in this, basically. Wow. So we're out also to partner with them. Startup incubation acceleration, yes, we have up to 8 startups here because any product coming out from TD4Pi Hub, being an NGO, a commercial entity is created called startup. So each of the people that are involved now form like, participants, they have equity with some equity warehouse for future investors to come in.
So what are the 8 startups that you have here?
We have here AIDC, Auto ID and Data Capture Limited. We have the IoT Technology Limited. We have Ruatronic Limited. Ruatronic, I see Ruatronic. So it's
Rua means water.
Water, yes. So it's a special platform that acquires data when it comes to water and what have you, and so on and so forth. We have one on also e-health as well.
As a leading hardware training hub, TD4Pi have multiple projects running presently.
Amadioha, as I mentioned.
I thought Amadioha is a shrine or something.
Absolutely correct.
So we monitor shrines too?
I will explain to you. You see, when you say Amadioha, Amadioha is a deity. Okay?
Yes.
A deity commands certain powers above the human being.
Okay.
So we're giving it Amadioha because it's a very, very powerful platform.
Wow.
More powerful than most boards you can get based on microcontroller. That is what we call it Amadioha. Because if you bring something like an Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, or even your Raspberry Pi and put alongside this, these ones are more powerful in solving Nigerian specific problems.
What if the Yorubas come up and say you need to create Oduduwa?
We have Olu Buster.
Wow.
Oluwole Buster. We have an RFID product today called Olu Buster. So we have Igbo name, we have Hausa name, we have Yoruba name. So we're not tribalistic here.
Yeah, Wazobia here. That's
exactly. Absolutely, yeah. So we have our RFID card reader which we develop here, biometric and what have you. ISO 13443 RFID. Everything made here basically. People start asking, did you make the transistors? Did you make the because this is the question we get always. So I use Boeing as an example, or Airbus, okay? A lot of parts of Boeing are not made in the US. Airbus, a lot of parts are not made in France. But Boeing is an American product. So what matters is what they call the IP. IP is intellectual property. The design blueprint is ours. We'll do the whole design, not only the design, then we'll do what they call the system integration, which is very, very key. So we don't do the transistors. We don't need to do the transistors or your resistors or capacitors. People that want to hear that. Okay? Your Samsung, they don't make their transistors in Korea. As a matter of fact, Samsung, they don't have their own fab. Most of them use the TSMC fab in Taiwan. Sorry, one of the biggest semiconductor fabs in the whole world. Just to clear that air, because sometimes they confuse it anyway. So sometimes your GPS, when you're underground, you don't get signal from the satellite. So our tracker now can talk to the mats around you, the base stations. Wow. And the base station has what they call the cell ID and LAC, location area code and cell ID. So with that, we can push that information to a security agent. Okay, we can do the triangulation using the signal strength of the station and our device, and they give you a location. So security agent can easily come and start looking for you. Wow. Or looking for your property or what have you. Wow. Again, this is something designed, in line with our challenges, unique challenges in Nigeria. Then USB hub, yes, this is a special hub that is a transparency hub, which is also designed here. We'll see if there's some level can give you as a souvenir. Wow. Then these are big technical converters, USB to human interface device, converter and so on and so forth. Then is also interesting. SMS, this actually was what we showcased 3 years ago in Nigerian conference in Abuja here, and it went really ballistic, I'll be honest with you. This was actually developed by 3 IT students from Futo. They were actually here, you know. So we came up with the idea and they actually worked on it. Now, if you go around Abuja, it's a lot of billboards. For me to have an advert, I have to start doing paperwork, bureaucracy, and whatever, okay? But what is a situation where I don't need the paperwork? I can have my USSD code, have arrangement with the telcos, where I can just put my message, send it, it comes straight to the billboard. So this is a solution where you send an SMS from your phone, it comes to a very big board and starts scrolling. This is a robot we're developing called Wazobia. It is actually at this elementary stage. The control, the brain, is also made in TD4Pi here. And the control, we named it NCBD board. NCBD is an ancient writing of the Southeast. So we actually named it after this NCBD scribe. Most of us have heard about it. And you know, the final destination of this robot is for maybe for security. It comes with your servo motors. All this represent. Let me not get a bit technical.
Is it going to be a very giant robot?
It could be scaled up. Whatever we do here can be scaled up. Okay. You know, so this is like a POC, proof of concept. We can make it bigger. We can change it to work like a dog. Must have seen some from Boston Dynamics. Some of those robots they are making everything. So it all started this way. So we're injecting the knowledge and everything. And these young people that are very brilliant here, they are doing so well, trying to absorb, assimilate some of this new knowledge. Then here is a stand of the Unity board. This is actually what we call the demonstration stand. It shows the capability of Unity board. What can it do? The powers. Let me use the word. It shows the muzzle of the Unity board. So Unity board can carry out a display here. We've not really. I think they changed the program. You can see the light is flashing. It's programmed with another code. That's why we're not seeing any message here. Then it has sensors here that can do gesture sensing. I can wave. It tells me all these are sensors. It can tell us the temperature of this air, humidity of this air, pressure of this air. We're located. Everything can be shown and transferred to your phone. Then it does switching. That's part of your smart city. I'm coming home. How do I put my AC on before I even get home? That's part of your smart technology. So we could plug an AC here. They'll plug in such a way that as I move, it takes my phone, it's interacting with my GPS coordinates. As I'm getting closer home, my AC is already on for me, waiting for me. I can even be sending the temperature of my room, everything to you. It's part of just smart. Then lighting as well, you can control lighting and so on. Then gas sensor, environment monitoring. How do you know the cleanness of the air in Kuje here? How do you know how clean? The other time we had some issue in Port Harcourt where there was soot. People were breathing whatever. So with this, we could actually create a network, a mesh network of environmental sensors that can sense the whole Abuja for us, push the data to a GIS application so people can see the source of pollution, pollutants, and then where it's coming from, and then how clean the air you're breathing or water you're even drinking is. Absolutely. So this is it. Over here, this is actually one of our latest projects we're doing here. Very, very interesting project here. So it's actually, again, a data acquisition platform, which we are deploying for various aspects. So we are working on a system that monitors data centers. How do you remotely monitor your data center without being there? Temperature of the data center, humidity there, the dust level, who came in there, who left there, you know, do you have NEPA light, do you have a gen light, everything. So this is a data acquisition platform that will use our sensors to pick up all these parameters and then push for what they call a broker platform for analytics and so on and so forth. The same thing is happening here. So we have a lady here because we believe in inclusiveness in TD4Pi. Sometimes have up to 4, 6, 7 ladies here. You know, people come and go. So people resume school. So have your Chinas as well. She's also working on the second part of the data acquisition platform. And then over here, as I mentioned already, this is a dashboard of remote tank. It's showing us the volume of the tank as I speak with you right now, showing us the temperature of the tank as I speak with you right now. It shows us the delta. The delta is when was it filled up, you know? Then if you should start pouring the tank, now it starts reflecting there. Maybe time for demo now, we open up the tap. Okay, that's it over there in that big screen. Maybe over the demo now, we can, are we online now? Somebody should open up the tap, please. So I would like you to pay attention to this, please. Where's the volume? So this is the volume of our tank now, 8,249.63 liters. That's that tank there. So we open up the tap here. Let's see how it will be changing. So it's pouring now, it's pouring down water. So that point of water can mimic your fuel, consumption. Maybe somebody stealing your fuel and so on and so forth. So let's watch it. 1249 is showing us now. Then the tank is showing 53 degrees. You can see it is really hot there. It's a black body. 53 degrees. I never knew that these tanks get to that temperature, I bet you. Okay, to see change again, just part we have a 1249.63 now. So let's wait. Okay, last change was just a few seconds ago. So let's see the next change. Okay, you saw it now. It has changed to 1244.96. Now, this technology can be applied, I mentioned, to your remote tanks like your diesel. If you have a tank farm or a big corporation that has remote operations, you can actually monitor all your fuel from a single point, from a single central dashboard. You can monitor, check your liters, everything. Then you can create an alarm system when there's an anomalous consumption of fuel, whereas DVDT is anomalous. You can raise a red flag, knowing that it's being stolen and so on and so forth. So it can be applied in various areas. For the military too, this is key for the military. When you talk of logistics and so on and so forth, you can plan everything using it. And you would that everything is automated to a single dashboard. So all the whole information can be on database with blockchain. It is protected. Nobody can change any information and so on and so forth. For the military, this is very, very key. For the government, it's key. For private organizations, and then for telcos. Telcos has a lot of these base stations around. Oh, who failed them? How do they monitor them? So this system can help them monitor their 1,001 base stations across Nigeria, the amount of level of fuel they have there, the consumption, is it a normal consumption or is it anomalous consumption and so on. And then this can allow the suppliers on time to supply. That's the good thing about this. It can give automatic alert to suppliers to come and supply diesel when the diesel is actually going down. And then if there's a problem, it can easily know on time as well. This is a remote data acquisition platform. This can be used to monitor remote boreholes across Nigeria. I'll talk about that when we get there. We have some organizations that are seeing boreholes up and down. How do you know the performance of 1,000 boreholes across Nigeria from a single dashboard? So this device comes with the borehole, controls the pump, knows when to start the pump, switch off the pump. It tells the level of water utilization. If it's not working, everything you get it through this very device you are trying to deploy. Of course, it comes with the cover.
According to Dr. Agu, the hub is also set up to educate a new generation of embedded system engineering technology youths to meet current and future industrial challenges and emerging embedded system engineering trends. The hub boasts of a boys and girls hostel and other facilities.
ICT drives the whole world now. So with this very board, your children can start learning programming. You must have heard about Scratch program developed by MIT. So there's what they call Scratch for Arduino. They can actually start program with this board. And very, very importantly, this is an Arduino compatible platform.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So it's a seamless and painless migration to this board. But this board is richer than Arduino because the Arduino is actually a charity case compared to what you have here.
And this is made here in Nigeria?
Absolutely, made here in this hub. Not even Nigeria. You're at the facility that manufactured this very board. This was how this board used to be. Can you get me the Bare Unity board? From here, this is what we call a bare board. We get this. Everything here, component, what the board bring up, the troubleshooting, the APIs, the DLL, everything we do here absolutely, for which you can give for higher level application developers to interface.
And all this is happening here in Kuje?
Yes,
wow.
in a village or in a hamlet, absolutely.
That's interesting to know.
That's the most important thing because most of the hubs are in Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt, wherever, but we brought it down to be a community hub so people at the grassroots can actually benefit from it.
That's interesting.
And I feel that such initiatives should be expanded more in Nigeria for digital inclusion.
Definitely, we need a lot of that in Nigeria.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
After a while of walking around the hub, it is now time to take a seat and ask some real questions. This time, Dr. Agu took us through his personal journey of building the hub, shared his passion and goals for the community hub.
Well, actually, this hub started, the TD4Pi IoT hub started 2009. Wow. As I mentioned, it was actually founded 2009. Wow. That's a year after I started working for the government in the space agency. I got into the government through the NATCOMSAT where I was setting an R&D department. Then it got registered as an NGO 2014.
Wow.
So you can see the whole difference anyway.
So there's a gap.
Exactly. And there's a reason why this place came to be. First of all, this was Kuje. The cost of land here was cheaper than maybe a place like Sokora and Co.
Wow.
So we were able to get a land here. And they decided building organically from that period. And the essence is to reduce the cost, because from inception, the plan was to make sure that people from the community, from the rural area, from the grassroots, that can't afford some of this training, can actually get it free, being an NGO.
Well, I think we have to sit down so that, you can enjoy more of these discussions. Okay, so if you have been wondering whom we have been chatting with, this is Dr. Agu Collins Agu.
My pleasure.
Now, this is a man that has done so much for youth, fighting poverty in a country like Nigeria. You know what that means. And he has invested a lot of funds, into young people, building their skills, entrepreneurship. What can you say about that? Like, I've just been wondering, you can just maybe would have gone somewhere, chill out, maybe travel to the US, UK, and then just enjoy your money with your family. So what fueled that passion for youth empowerment and poverty alleviation and entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think this is an interesting question. Most people actually ask me, how come of all places you came to Kuje? How did you even get this place? I'm used to that question. I'll tell you a little bit history about myself. My father, my parents are teachers. So I'm from a family of teachers. My mother was a teacher. She's still alive. Okay. Then my father is a retired professor from ESUT. She's actually the deputy vice chancellor of Enugu State University of Science and Technology. So teaching runs in a family line. That's number one. But what propelled me most especially was the fact that I benefited enormously from federal government scholarship.
Wow.
I went to Federal Government College Idoani, Ondo State, where I came out with distinction.
Wow.
In my work.
Wow.
So by virtue of that, I got a federal government scholarship to study in the then Soviet Union. And, full scholarship studying, I had a very good student years because everything was taken care of. So it's part of giving back to the people as well, people that are not opportune, because to be frank, if you checked my background, coming from a family of teachers, my parents couldn't even afford a flight ticket. As a matter of fact, the first time I got into a plane was the first time I was living in Nigeria in 1987, absolutely. So I understand that people out there that are very, very less privileged, people that are the grassroots, below the breadline and everything, but then they have talent to learn. They want to learn, they want to get some knowledge to empower them. To change narrative about their family and about themselves as well.
Wow.
So that is why we came here, build this in the rural area. I call it in a hamlet or a village anyway. And we try to put the necessary amenities where if you're here, you will not feel that you are within a village. So we try to create that comfort as you must have seen, as much as we can. And another propelling factor was the fact that a lot of young people couldn't get jobs. When I worked in NACHCOMSAT, I interacted with so many people that tried to get into NACHCOMSAT to work. They couldn't. But I think it's a common situation, it's a common occurrence in the government. And these guys are smart. So I started to take some of them, to mentor them on some of these embedded programs because they were showing so much interest. Some of them came out of school, they were used to program 8051, 8086, but they don't understand certain simple things which I feel nobody could teach them. Because of the university, because of the kind of curriculum we have. So, in essence, the relationship between the university and the academia and the industry is not there in Nigeria. That's the fact there's no industrial base, real functional industrial base for some of these people to acquire real life practical experience. So that was what prompted me, to build a place like this, basically from the little money I get as salary, allowances, with so much passion. Yes, so much passion, and I put everything here, and it's prepared by passion, let me be honest with you.
It must be challenging.
Because the greatest investment you can make is investment in the human capital. And I want to point out something. I'm from the Southeast, but this hub is not in the Southeast.
Wow.
Because I have that spirit of one Nigeria, and that is why, irrespective of where I am, I try to make a difference. I try to change the narrative. And that's why I decided to invest what I could have over here. Needless to mention to you that I don't have a house in town. Well, I'm living in town, I'm renting.
Wow.
I'm paying, yes, I have a rented property.
And then you are building a house for young people.
Exactly, because the greatest investment is in human capital. When you invest in them, okay, then you're building a whole generation, then you're replicating yourself in them. That's most important, and that's only when Nigeria can advance technologically.
Wow.
When you break the cultural barrier, you break the tribal barrier, you break the ethnic barrier and other religious barrier or whatever, getting people now based on merit, based on their passion and everything, training them and everything. That is greatest joy I derive, I bet you.
Wow.
And my dream and prayer is always, let me teach them to know more than I know now.
That's right.
That's where we can prepare the country forward, especially in this era of fourth industrial revolution, driven by knowledge. So how do you infuse this emerging knowledge in them to be competitive? Because you have to create a workforce that is highly competitive by upskilling and reskilling. And especially considering one of our biggest assets, which could also be a liability, the population. You know, median age of 18 years for the youth, 200 million, annual growth rate of a little bit under 3%, 2.9% or so. So it's an asset if you know how to manage it. But if you don't infuse this knowledge in, they become a liability.
Wow.
So what I'm doing now is also creating an avenue where there can be cross-pollination of ideas. It's an ecosystem that can catalyze startups based on ideas coming out from there, and then they could be commercialized.
Exactly.
That is the way we can grow technologically and move from the spirit of consumerism to the spirit of productivity.
Wow.
That's the only way Nigeria can move forward. Absolutely.
Wow.
It is driving me as a patriotic Nigerian.
Wow.
Because I benefited enormously from this country. So it's time to give back.
I'm sure he was not the only man that benefited from, you know, that scholarship. There are lots of Nigerians, but here is one man that is setting the pace. I believe others need to rise up and follow.
Absolutely.
You know, we need to invest, we need to give back, because we don't have that giving back culture. So viewers, will be right back, and discussions with Dr. Agu continues after this break. Welcome back. You're still watching Social Plus Africa, and I'm still discussing with Dr. Agu. This is one man, you know, meeting him today, you know, has fueled my passion, you know, for Nigeria. A man who believes so much in Nigeria despite what is happening in Nigeria. A man who can actually say, you know, I don't need to give myself comfort. Let me give it to other people. That is incredible. And if you have been following the discussions and the conversations, you will know that there are lots of challenges in building this kind of place and running it. So we want to hear it from Dr. Agu himself. What are the major challenges you face here, sir?
Well, the challenges are enormous. I mean, when you're in Nigeria, you have challenges. But me, I look at such challenges as an opportunity, to be frank. You know, wherever there's a challenge, you find a way to solve it. And when you solve some of these problems, you could come up with innovative solutions that can be commercialized. That is how I look at it philosophical. I feel one of the greatest challenges I have here is the, you know, let me use the word support. You see, TD4PA IoT Hub is a big entity. I mean, strategically important, because if you're talking of emerging technology today, the upstream ICT is very, very key. You know, things like your hardware design, most of the startups already mentioned that, embedded programming, PCB, printed circuit board design and program update. So these areas are, let me put it, is what the Russians call blue profession. You know, it's not too common. And this is the area that we're actually trying to build up as much as we can. So in doing that, just as a Mustafad, we give them free accommodation here. As I mentioned earlier, TD4PA is an NGO, it's an innovation charity, not for profit, absolutely, not for profit. It's an incorporated trustee registered under the CAC in 2014, as I mentioned, while I was still in Ashcomsat anyway. But right now I work for it, as I mentioned. So the first challenge is the issue of energy. The issue of light is nothing new in Nigeria. Okay, so we struggle so much to fuel generators here. So it's terrible. It's just, I don't know, sometimes 2 weeks no light, and then we do a lot of soldering, soldering iron. We have young people here that you need to project some image to teach them. Then even connectivity comes in. So even without power, connectivity is an issue. So internet is what we need. We need people that can come in, support us with internet, or even join us, for goodness sake. Very, very key. So energy system is, if we can have like 30 to 40 kilowatts, okay, 30 to 50 kilowatts of solar energy given to us here, I think it will go a long way, supporting the whole activities going on here. Imagine plugging a projector to a small battery, it dies within a few hours. You know, connectivity is very key. We need internet, so if we can have people that can support us with internet connectivity, if it's both satellite internet or terrestrial, we'll be very happy, because we make a lot of references online. You know, when you design, you go across the industries, look at the latest technology, you download heavy data sheets. Like you're designing with a you want to introduce a new microcontroller to your design, maybe ESP8266, maybe ESP32. You have to download the data sheet, read about it, the capabilities, everything. Because you're designing a product to be cost effective with features. So a lot of research goes online. And that's data.
Then, I know you're also interested in research. So mentioning it now, just
exactly. Just as I mentioned earlier, I'm research sabbatical. I'm a director, leader, director strategy. I took 1 year off to face research, and part of it is that to combine two activities was actually hectic,
So
and also
research
some family challenges I
In
had
what
as well.
area?
The IoT, Internet of Things, because if you look at the world today, the world is driven by data. So people keep saying data, 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 but nobody has asked the question, how do we acquire this data? So the primary focal point here is what they call data acquisition platforms. That's what we develop. Platforms like Unity Board here, platform like even Odmoid. There's so many platforms here. So these are platforms you deploy in the field, put an energy system, put sensors, it will be relaying data to any part of the world you want. So with that data, you can plan, you do analytics and what have you. With that data, you can't, you're blind.
Okay, so
our job is creating platform for data acquisition, at minimum, training as well, other areas of emerging technology like AI and so on and so forth,
So-
ML.
you produce a lot here.
Yes.
So how is the market like? Is there a market, to market some of these your products and project it to the world? Is there that kind of opportunity?
Yeah, to be frank, it's one of the areas we are having a challenge because I personally cannot be jack of all trades. I'm a person that is research focused. I didn't read business development or marketing or what have you. So that is where we have a very, very big vacuum. And I want to use this opportunity to reach out to people like venture capitalist companies, VCs, angel investors, and even business people that could come in and see some of the things we are doing there. They give us a task, a problem we want to solve for them. People from the industry, even from the academia as well, government institution. Okay, this is a problem we are having. We want to use local solutions to solve it, to make it sustainable, which is in line with executive orders 3 and 5. We'll be more than happy. Another thing is publicity. That's why I'm so excited people came here to give us coverage. Publicity costs money.
Yeah.
And we have to prioritize when we little money we have, where we're putting it. Like filling of generator, buying components from China, buying components from Russia, from UK. It's expensive. Look at the rate of dollar to naira. My salary has not increased, but the cost is increasing.
Exactly.
And then you have to feed these young people because they can't concentrate with a hungry stomach. Coming from very, very far. Some came from Cross River Hard. One came from Bauchi, ATB, we are here. They need to be fed. They're young
I
people.
understand sometimes you give them transportation.
Yeah, yes, I help them out because they are like my children, for
Wow.
goodness sake. I try to help them as much as I can, but then I can't do it alone. So I'm reaching out to other people with similar passion, of course, to come up, let's collaborate and build a very, very strong, innovative ecosystem, not by lip service, by actions. Because what I hear in Nigeria is more of, lip service,
Yeah.
Let's come together,
Talk the talk,
if it's
no
the military,
action.
can give us some assignment for them, solve this problem for us, using Nigerian technology. That gives them that comfort because most of this imported technology, they have what they call documented features. You don't know what is behind the scene there. I'm a programmer, embedded program, I know this. Okay, your routers, for example, you know what happened to the AU building in Addis Ababa given to us? It was bugged. It was being sniffed by a country. Let me not mention the name. Now, so imagine a situation where a place like Astor Villa is using an imported product, having Federal Executive Council meetings there, and the gadgets are all imported. Or a situation where we're fighting Boko Haram in Northeast, for example, using foreign equipment, and we don't know who are their supporters behind the scene.
Yeah.
How far are you sure that all your communication is not being sniffed? So that is where local content comes in. When you're sure of what technology you are deploying, and you're sure that you can actually believe in it. So these are things we need to do.
Yeah.
Not only TD for other hubs who needs to be supported. Let me give you what the Russians do, the Soviet Union. The Soviet model in military, I think I'll talk about military because of the security system we have is they give universities specific tasks, R&D, to solve a problem for them. That's what they do. Okay, well, give them a task, give them some support, okay, give them timelines. They make presentation until that product becomes yours, for goodness sake.
Wow.
That is what I want our armed forces to be doing, where they reach out to hubs especially, R&D centers, no longer theoretical. We've been to universities. I think we have that. That's enough for us. Let's go to the practical. Let's get our hands dirty. That is the time we have to do it.
Yeah.
But then people have to support that. People have to propel that. People have to push that. And that is what the military R&D arm should be doing, reaching out to hubs like TD4Pi, signing a kind of collaborative agreement with them, giving them a task.
Yeah.
DSS, for example, we want to use some special gadget as well. Air Force, Navy, Police, name it, absolutely. With this current insurgency we are fighting, okay, develop this for us. Why? ICT is pervasive. ICT is a means to an end. So with ICT, a lot of problems can be solved because it's across all sectors.
Exactly.
But what matters is your creativity and your adaptation capability. Because most of this technology will adopt it. They just need to adapt it. When you adapt, it becomes sustainable. You know, it's tailored, customized to your peculiarity, so it survives.
Yeah.
Than going to borrow first world technology, I keep saying it, and apply it in third world realities, where you don't have light, no communication. People's mentality, again, matters. Cultural background of human beings. All this they have to consider.
Wow.
If I have to put something low this way in Nigeria, I would say no, I wouldn't put it. I'll put it like 3 meters high, because I know the mentality here.
Yeah.
No, I'll go to Europe and see a solar panel this height. I'll repeat the same thing here. You have to adapt it to make it higher, because people here are different. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is the value, that is the essence. You know, that's the beauty of having what they call indigenous technology and local content as well.
Exactly. And then viewers, TD4 Pile have lots of programs, up to 8 of them. You know, there is something called Smart City, and we are faced with building collapse, especially in states like Lagos. And here is a hub, a community that can help solve that problem. And you know, anytime I look
flooding
at
as well.
Flooding, all kind of natural disasters. You know, we have a lot of issues in Nigeria, and then there is a hub that is ready to help you solve that. So what you have to do, you just need to reach out, come and partner with them. It's a non-governmental organization. If it means you're sending people to come out here and be trained, you know, to checkmate and know that, oh, this building is about collapsing, and then they know how to evacuate people. Like, how do you feel, you know, seeing Nigeria faced with all of these disasters, and then they're not really looking into hardware and how to use it to manage some of these issues?
Well, you see, there's what they call technological evolution. Everything is a journey we're going through. You know, first of all, you know, you are taught there's something called computer existing. The next thing you are taught how to use it, how to assemble it. So it's an evolutionary trend which we are going in. But I feel that, you know, we should not have that euphoria and be stagnated. We should keep moving.
Yeah.
So there's high time we have to propel some of these activities to happen. And you see, necessity is the mother of invention. When you're given a task, a problem comes in, there's support, there's collaboration. That is when solutions can start coming up. Now, the issue of hardware, you know, is a bit sad in this part of the world, although not fully sad, because hardware is hard. People have said it already. You know, most countries too, the hardware component is really difficult. It's not like a software where overnight you can start any Python programming, you can start C# and so on and so forth. Hardware is that you need a really good, you know, environment where you have industry experts and mentors that could teach you. That's the difference between hardware and software. And the beauty is that, you know, the demand is always there for hardware. Absolutely, yes. It's rare, the demand is there. And for Nigeria, the more we look up over there, we can now create certain technologies that is adapted to suit our environment, and that makes it to survive. Needless to say that you have something to export, which is very, very key. You know, we can't depend on the oil forever. What technology do we have to export? So that can actually help us to export some of these gadgets, especially with this African Free Trade Association agreement. If Nigeria sleeps, I think we have to capture this very important, because we're all jumping up, signing these agreements up and down. I'm worried about that. I'm sorry, this is my own personal opinion, not official, personal opinion. You cannot sign an agreement just as we signed with ECOWAS, where we leave the whole borders empty and all import is coming to Nigeria. We're basically getting nothing from ECOWAS. I'm sorry to say that. Now we're extending the same way to this African Trade Association agreement. Now, it's a good thing to come up as Africa, borderless philosophy or what have you. But then you don't want to turn to a dumping ground. So if you start sleeping, okay, you become a tertiary consumer. All these things will be dumped here, so you won't benefit. It will just be a market for selling products. So that is why we need to invest internally in innovation to develop some of these innovative products that will be competitive, at least within the African market, and utilize the free movement of goods and what have you. Without that, we'll be enslaved. So that is where the government needs to wake up, come up with programs, okay? So not only government, private sectors too. People should do CSR, corporate social responsibility. Why not? Dangote should come in as well. Give some time to some of these hubs. Support them. I'm sure they have some problems in the factory. Give it internally to be solved. You're building a refinery, one module of it is local content, one module of it is local technology applied. These are things you should be looking at as well. Very, very important. Others are not moving anywhere.
Wow. Behind every successful and well-rounded youth, there is a mentor who have dedicated resources and time to ensuring that they become better individuals. They share their experiences since joining TD4 Pi.
The first time I came to TD4 Pi Hub, I came with Team Astromania to incubate here while we prepared for Acting Space Innovation Competition 2020. And then under the mentorship of Dr. Collins Agu, we were able to develop a smart device that makes normal cars smart, helping them to predict roadworthiness as they travel along the road. So it also helps them to gather some data like air quality monitoring, the air quality in the car and outside the car, like that. So a robust system that makes a normal car a smart one. So we developed the product here, and then we contested in the event, and my team came first in the nation. And then the product was based on the Unity board. So to tell you how flexible and unrivaled the board is. So we participated and came first. And then we qualified to represent the country in the international event at France.
Wow, that's interesting.
That was it. So then it was awesome. We came here as well. After that, we came here for another 1 month internship and training, preparing for the international level. So we continued immersing and then in knowledge. And then our mentor was actually mentoring us from Russia. Then he was not in the country. So, but when he came over to the country, that was early this year. We had more intimate relationship with him, which he groomed us from zero to hero. Many of us, we didn't know much about some kind of programming aspects, some tricks like that, you get. So he opened us to infinity knowledge. So we were able to do well, even in the international level. So because of the COVID-19, we didn't travel out again. So we did it online. The TD4Pi Hub, I see it as an inspiration to me personally. Because I've been looking all my life, I've been looking for a community whereby I can meet other talented persons, have my hands laid on the resources. Hardware programming, like he used to say, is hard in the sense that economically, to afford all these things, buying modules here and there is very, very expensive. So coming here, I was able to, whatever I need, based on my research, the component I need to experiment, build prototypes, they were readily available. So the hub has helped me in terms of material availability and then inspiration. Like when I work with Doctor, for instance, the energy with which he works and other things like that inspires me a lot. So I get to ask questions. I don't need to go to YouTube again. There are no videos upon videos. I have someone that is almost like a video to me. So I ask him questions.
That's interesting.
Wow. So I ask him questions and other things like that. So a lot of things like that. So the relationship grew like that, and then we exchanged knowledge, come to a point where so I moved from being a trainee and I became a trainer.
Wow. So how much did you pay to get in here?
It's actually free. I did my internship. Like I'm currently serving here, so it was based on my experience from Team Astromania. I decided to I met him one-on-one. I would like to serve here, and then he took me in. So
and they gave you accommodation.
Exactly.
And it's feeding you for free.
And it's light.
I think that is really very incredible. I understand you competed in some kind of what do we call it?
Acting Space Competition
and
Innovation. It's a space hackathon organized by the European Space Agency, and it was hosted by the Nigerian Communication Satellite here in Nigeria. So we were opportunity to compete with about 4 teams from around the country, from Lagos, Port Harcourt, Gombe, Kaduna, and even Abuja, and we emerged as the first runner-up. So we participated, and the whole concept was to create a concept that seeks to merge space data and the ground data in order to make life a lot more easier. And what we measured on was merging space data and car data. So what we did was we incorporated a lot of IoT sensors, and it was basically the whole concept was making, in lay terms, your Aquala car into a smart car. So let's just say you're turning a version 2004 Toyota Camry into a Tesla. So that was the whole concept that we had. Wow. Yeah, and we were mentored by Dr. Collins Agu. He was back there in Russia, but it was virtual for us, and it was very, very interactive. He was always there for us, 2 a.m. in the morning, and he was always there for us. He went through our codes. He helped us debug most of the problems that we were facing. He gave us some key MVPs that we could use, and it was really awesome for us. Wow. And after that, we mentored under him, and what we did here at the hub was that it's always an idea sharing session with him, and what he does with every member of the hub is he takes everybody like his own.
So it's like a family.
It's like a family here, you get. So he sits down, he has time for us every time, Wow. let me just say he's a workaholic. He doesn't sleep. I mean, the last time I was at the hub before I left for school, I literally watched him work all day till 6 a.m. in the morning.
So he inspires you.
He inspires me a lot. So Dr. Agu is somebody that, you know, every person that seeks to grow should always look up to him. You know.
Wow.
Yes, and I feel a lot of Nigerians don't really get the chance, the platform to meet with somebody special like him, but he's somebody that we really, really need to.
So you were lucky then?
I'm very, very lucky. I'm
Wow.
opportune to meet somebody like him, and you know, and every day it's an inspiring session for me. Every day it's a classroom, you know.
Wow.
And the wise man once said that, you know, the biggest thing not to do is not take a risk. And in a world that is evolving so fast, the best strategy for failure is not taking a risk at all. And you know, being here is taking a risk at some point. You know, it's not easy balancing up what you're doing here with the educational system in Nigeria.
Oh, you're still a student?
I'm still a student.
Okay.
I'm in my second year, and
Wow.
I'm studying mechatronics and system engineering. And you know, universities, we know how the Nigerian university system is.
Which of the institutions?
Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi.
Wow.
Yeah, and the university system is not really equipped like that. And some of these practicals that we have here at the hub, I bet you don't have it in the universities. Most of these lecturers cannot give you the time that Dr. Agu gives you. You
Wow.
know, we going to, before I came to the hub, I was really used to analog circuitry, and now I'm basically used to digital circuitry. Coding, Dr. Agu calls the C programming as the language of the bare metal. So it's basically communicating with the hardware. So, you know, it's easier, you know, playing with the hardware, sending a command and you're seeing your hardware responding. And it's really, really awesome. So it's a life-changing experience.
This makes your school system more interesting because when you go back.
Yes, yeah, and it makes you outshine everybody when you head back.
Wow.
You know, so it keeps you at the top almost in class. You know, it's really awesome for us. So it's a whole different experience for me.
Wow, that's marvelous. You know, mentoring, mentorship, mentoring, it's what we really need in Nigeria, especially for the young ones. And the TD4Pi is really giving that to young people, to in fact people who are not yet graduates. It's giving them that, you know, that leverage. Of course, that is what everybody needs. So far so good. What can you say about the hub community, the TD4Pi, this community? Because I understand it's free. Did you pay to get in here?
No, I didn't. I'm here. I don't pay for accommodation. I don't pay for feeding.
You eat free food.
I eat free food. Okay. It's something that Dr. Agu does from his pocket. You know, he usually brings out his earnings and he sinks it into the hub. And everybody in the hub can testify for that. You know, the sensors we buy, everything, the solar, we basically don't have much external funding here. It's from Dr. Agu's pocket. Wow. You know, and he also supports us very well. You know, transport and a lot of stuff. He does a lot. Dr. Agu is more than just a mentor. He's
like
a role model. He's a father to a lot of us here at the hub. So it's really awesome working with him. It's an opportunity to meet with somebody like him. So this is a big community for us.
And I said, wow, Dr. Agu. Dr. Agu, just like the name, it's powerful, you know. We continue to pray for more grace to this hub community that has continued to uplift young ones. So finally, what would you say to youth who are looking for a place to develop themselves?
Okay, first of all, I have to say one thing to the youth. You can't keep relying on our educational system. Dr. Agu used to stress on one thing. In his time, he didn't have the internet, and in this our time, we have the internet. And you know, the world is more than just a global village today. You know, I can be here and I'm communicating with someone in Japan, and we're sharing ideas. And we have the internet basically for free. And let me paraphrase Elon Musk. He said, knowledge is basically available for free. So he doesn't think you have to go to school to get a degree or become somebody great. You know, knowledge is basically available for free. So it's left for you to harness it and make the best of it. Okay, so most of us started learning a lot of what we do today online, but then with good mentoring, you can actually become very, very great. So for a lot of the Nigerian students in the university system, just pass through the system, but also ensure that you're in line with global standards. And that's what we're always doing in the hub. in line with emerging technologies, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, deep learning, augmented realities, and virtual realities, etc. So we're doing a lot in this hub, even with the limited resources that we have, but we're making the best out of it here.
I can categorically tell you that TD4Pi is one of the leading hardware companies or hardware firms we have in Nigeria. If you check the peculiarity of the work, it's not an easy one. As I said, hardware is hard. So one of the unique points for us when we met Dr. Agu at Acting Space is we were fascinated that we finally met someone that will help us with the hardware part of our project, because we had to deal with the business aspect of the project, we had to deal with the software, but the very important part of the project we were missing at some point. We met different mentors, some were into business, some were into the software and all that, and the presentation, but no one was into hardware until when we met Dr. Agu, and we were quite happy meeting him. Wow. For the first time we could relate. Sorry to say, the earlier mentors we had, they couldn't really relate. Let me mention that here. We had a mentor, I won't mention the school, academic, that is more theoretical inclined. And when we were saying the project, the woman was more like disbelieving what we could do, because she saw it as virtually impossible.
So Dr. Agu believes in you.
Because he is technically inclined and knows what we wanted to do, and it helped the challenge proper. Wow. So discovering this place has helped us a great deal, and I think it is more reason why we won the national stage and we're able to compete with people that saw technology as early as 2 years. We're able to compete favorably with them, and we did very well. We had the best pitch among about 20-something countries. We had the best pitch. TD4Pi, as our motto implies, great futures start here. So, and I think this is what the federal government and any government that has progress at hand, actually I think that's what the advanced world do. They have incubation centers where people come, breed their idea and do lots of things. If you can have places like this, if the government can support places like this, and well-meaning Nigerians can put in their money, before you can make any meaningful progress, you have to invest in research, and that's what we are lacking in this part of the world. We don't invest in research. When we hear $1 million into research, we'll be like, let me give an instance, Elon Musk. You should Google and see how much he spends on R&D. He doesn't market his product, in that he doesn't pay for marketing. What they do is he has a strong influence on Twitter, and once he mentions something, it goes far, and that is basically his marketing platform. Wow. The good example is what happened with crypto. One man was able to shake the whole industry of cryptocurrency, so just to tell you the importance of research and development. And before we can go anywhere in this country, we have to be serious in research, and that's what TD4Pi is known for: R&D, research on hardware.
Okay.
When I came here, I saw unity among the people that I met. I saw as in a team, a working team. Everybody is working like a team. So I was very happy when I was seeing them working as a team in the hub. So I learned a lot from them. I didn't know anything concerning IoT, hardware, all those stuff. But when I got here, I started learning how to use Arduino board, how to do a programming by using C++. So I was very happy. Then when we started producing Unity board, so Dr. Agu is the one that used to mentor us for how to solder a board, how to read a schematic diagram and know how the team work. This one is connected to this one, this one is connected to this one. So I was very happy. So that's how I know how to solder, how to use a soldering iron very well, how to solder a surface mount technology PCB and throw components on the board.
Wow, Nigerians that are watching, I'm sure you know how expensive it is to train one single programmer. And here is a man who has, given all his life, his resources, to train young people, to make sure that he becomes like the stepping stone for them to grow. So Mr. Agu is really doing an incredible job. And if you're watching, I think if you are looking for somewhere to invest your money, and you know that the money is going to somewhere good, you should think of TD4Pi hub. Look, if you are to rate your personal development, like rate it on 100, what would it be? What would your rating be like? Would you say you have really grown, or you are still at that level?
No. No. I will rate 100 or 95.
Wow.
Because when I went back to my school after my IT, I was competing with my lecturers, not my fellow students
wonderful.
in school. So I was competing with my lecturers, not my classmates.
Your level have grown.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So there was some of my lecturers was asking me to come and teach them. Because when I was doing my presentation during my IT, they was very shocked. They was very shocked when they saw me talking about Internet of Things and all those stuff like that. So I even showed them the board that I did here. They was very shocked. They was disagree with me that I'm not the one that soldered the board and all those stuff. And now show them the proof, the pictures that I was snapped here in the hub.
In this TD4Pi hub, we have a lady who has said it's not only men that can do programming. So she has also come to venture. So I'm just going to ask her, Chinanza Eze. She's a starter. She just came into the hub and she says, you know what, I think I have to try my brain on these things. So Chinanza, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So how long have you been here?
For 2 months plus.
So far, are you enjoying this place?
Yes.
So what can you say about the place?
The place is very nice. Get to meet new people from different places, share knowledge together, and learn new things.
So are you hoping to go and study programming in the university? Because I understand you are done with your O-level, hoping to get into the university. So are you ready to take this knowledge that you are learning here to the university and continue with it?
Yes, yes. Okay. I want to study programming in the university.
So you see, mentoring is very important. When you have young girls, young women, young people with dreams, I think they need mentorship. You know, they need mentors, good mentors that could give them that stepping stone. So we continue to say kudos to Dr. Agu for doing an incredible job. You know, it's one thing to identify talent, and it's another thing to actually create the room for these talents to be harnessed and, you know, grow from there.
And the hub manager, Mr. Nnamani, who said as a young man, he came into TD4Pi not knowing what he wanted out of life. But for Dr. Agu's patient and dedicated mentoring, he is today the manager of the hub, and his life now have a direction. When asked about the challenges faced by the hub, Mr. Nnamani responded.
Since I came in here, you've been working on something. So what is this that you're working on?
You must have seen the Unity board. So what we're doing here basically right now is to box up some of the boards to show what the board does. So it's not like whenever someone comes here, we say, this is a Unity board, it does this and does that. So we want to set it up in such a way that people sees the board in action. People sees what the board can do. If you look around now, we have like 3 or 4 boxes of this. So this is the first one I've done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I touch?
You can touch.
Wow, this is incredible.
So
this is all boxed up already?
Yeah, boxed up and ready for action. So one of the, as it is now, it will go into that box.
Okay.
So with other components like sensors and what have you will come on board.
Wow.
So the same way as this one. Yeah.
Okay, so this one too is going to come up like this.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been with the TD4Pi hub?
Going to 8 years now.
Wow. And how has the journey been like?
When I first came here, I was not coming as, that I was coming to learn or do any of this. I just came like a naive person. At that time, I was not even sure what I wanted to do.
Wow.
But what was on my mind first was going to school. That was in 2014 or so.
What would you say are your major challenges as the manager of this hub?
Well, first challenge is the area of provision, because you can see all these people here now, we feed them from our pocket, as they mentioned to me now. Okay? Provision, power, challenges, major challenges, power. Yes. And then maybe to put 1 or 2 facilities in place to be able to cater for more people. More people might be coming in, and this place might be too small for them.
The TD4PI is a hub that is also passionate about making life easy for people around the community which it is located by offering support for education, giving them free access to clean water and power supply. The TD4PI is also taking some technological innovative steps towards generating gas from waste. Dr. Agu explains.
So this is another facility. So what did you do here?
Well, this is actually an extension of what we have. That was where the whole hub started.
Wow.
So luckily we expanded here. So here is also training facility. We have a very big hall here for training. And again, we're also looking at creating an innovation cafe. And a lot of the cafes are some people want to escape from the bustles and hustles of the city. Come over here, young people, sit over here, discuss, meet, talk about technology, cross-pollinate ideas, discuss some of the solutions or problems they are trying to solve, and so on and so forth.
Wow.
That is the essence we created over here. So it's a training facility, it's interaction, facility, also a cafe to be. It's still under construction. It's taking some time, challenges, financial and what have you. So we're trying our best.
Wow.
So
can we see some of the things?
Yeah, please come over.
Okay. Is this a soccer way or something?
Yeah, I think I will gladly point this out. It's when you talk about technology, okay? There's a lot to do with creativity as well. Are you able to think out of the box? And so on and so forth.
Sorry.
So here we are experimental with a biodigester.
Okay.
This is actually a special sockaway. We designed it, a special one, hermetically sealed. Yes, so if you look over here, you see a pipe, galvanized pipe. So this is actually where methane gas should come.
Wow.
So the essence is that we're turning waste to wealth, trash to cash.
Wow.
That's the whole essence here.
Okay.
So all the whole droppings from human beings, whatever, and kitchen waste goes down the drain here, and everything comes in. So what we're trying to do is that we want to propose to estate developers, as they're building their estates, we come and help them design the sockaway to turn to a biodigester where gas can be extracted.
Oh, really?
Maybe, yeah, to power their generators to even cook. So we're experimenting with this at the rural area.
Wow.
So the whole idea is that when everything is good, we actually pipe gas to some of these houses here. So most of them use stove and firewood. We could pipe gas. So that's why here we'll have 4 toilets here, 4.
Wow.
I will show we have 2 here and 2 in front.
So everything is coming here?
Yeah, that's the pipe, everything. Look at it. Look at it, comes here. Look at it, comes here. Is it? While this one is the wastewater going to the gutter. This one, you can see slanting towards here.
Yeah. So
when we are functional fully, we open up the other 2 toilets, make it public toilet. So the community can go there and we get their waste, then turn it to gas, scrub it, and they'll start using it. So it's an ongoing project.
Wow, this is awesome, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I'll point out 2 things again. You can see we have 2 boreholes here. That's the first borehole. That's the second borehole. Because we'll give the community free water.
Wow.
Give them free water because water is a major challenge. Here is a rocky area. Most wells, they get dried out in the dry season. So we have 2 boreholes that supplements. So we give them water year round, free of charge. Free.
Wow.
FOC, free of charge.
That's
absolutely.
awesome. You know, TD4PI is not just about youth development, it's about community development.
Absolutely. So try to give back to the community.
Wow, that's really amazing.
Yeah, some of them also give them, we also pay their school fees as well.
Oh, you give scholarships as well?
Yeah, we give them, we just pay some of the, it doesn't cost more. Just, you see, to pay like 20K, 20,000, some of them is a very, very big problem. Wow. You know, so sometimes we pay their school fees, some are on full scholarship.
So how do you know people who really did this help? What are the criteria?
They approach you sometimes. Sometimes, just as I mentioned, it's a community hub. So a lot of them come over there to charge their phone. They come over there to do their homework. Sometimes they come and beg you some of these challenges they have. Then I normally ask them, what was your score in your first term? What did you score in second term? And to be fair, most of these kids are very brilliant.
You still have some things to
Yes, I'll show you. Come over. You're welcome, please.
Okay, you exercise here.
So you can see here, it's still under construction. You can see the gravel over here. So here will be tiled everything. Of course, we'll do sports. Sometimes we'll do sports to keep fit, like improvise. Yeah, improvise.
Wow, you are strong as well. That's awesome, you know.
I used to do bodybuilding before. So here is part of the innovation cafe we're trying to put up, as I mentioned.
Wow.
Where your people can come from town, sleep over in the hostel there, discuss technology, interact. cross-pollinate ideas from startups and what have you.
Wow.
You know, so it's actually
Awesome.
an ecosystem that we have. So you
Okay,
can see some
so-
of these. They're still an ongoing project.
Wow, so we are going in now to
Yes.
see what is actually happening inside here. So, wow,
So you see the hall. You can see it has been tiled.
wow,
Yet to be, the ceiling is not done yet because the roof is actually leaking.
okay,
We have a design floor here.
wow,
There's a sagging in the roof, so much water is pouring here. So that's another major challenge we have. You need to replace this roof, but
Yeah.
maybe that will take some time.
So
But-
what do you do here?
So this is a training hall. You know, there's a projector there and everything.
Wow.
This is actually where the Unity board was manufactured on this very table.
Oh,
So it's also have we have moved some of the machines to over there.
okay, okay.
Because in summer, the other part of the hub is really very hot, as you notice.
Okay,
So this was where we located everybody. High roof, cooler, fan.
Yeah.
So we're actually working here, absolutely.
Wow, that's awesome. You're
absolutely.
doing marvelously well.
Yeah.
I am seeing some things that look like,
Yeah, that was
So-
what they call a drip irrigation project, which was exhibited some time ago.
okay,
That's the bottles with the drip. So it's part of Smart
Wow.
Agri-Tech.
okay,
Yeah, this is also a project done by Andrew Aziz,
okay.
a student from Afe Babalola University. Was on IT here, so he did with other people. They did this drip irrigation technology, where you what they call irrigation on demand, where you don't waste water. Each water goes to the plant, from part of the plant. That's what the Israelis use a lot to conserve
Wow,
water.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. This is
So you can see here we're short of furniture as well, kitchens and furniture. So you can get support. So if you look very carefully, I think this is part of the production board.
Okay.
They've shifted it here. So sorry, these are things that come. If you can come over here. So this part of this part of the machine for producing the Unity board. So if you look over here, this is the open up board, the board you saw over there, bare board. So normally drop here, you can see this is a stencil with holes.
yeah.
You can see another holes here.
Matching
Okay, so this
holes.
part of manufacture. So we drop the board here, over here, matching hose, okay? Then we put this, use a squeegee to smear what they call the solder paste,
What is that?
the soldering material that solders the components.
Okay.
When you lift it up already, you see them on each of the pad.
Wow.
Then it goes over there, they use their hand to drop the components, pick and place with their manual pick and place. Then the next thing, use our blower, the machines you saw over there, blow it and the board is ready. Testing and what have you.
That's awesome.
So this is one of the machines here. You know?
How much? Okay. How many students have you trained so far from the time this club was started?
Countless, I bet you. If we've not trained able, we have trained up to 500 people here. IT, interns from the rural area here. As a matter of fact, we have the philosophy of train the trainer. So when people come here, we train you and you're obligated to train other people coming. Like, we had a special class for over a month for school kids here. We taught them HTML programming. It was taken by one of the ladies that was in the hub, Glory. She's from Umudike, this University of Agriculture, Umudike. She's back to school now. So we have a lot that goes on here, absolutely. In the past, there used to be more activity, but now due to financing and things are really,
the economy.
I don't need to mention that anyway. So I have scaled back on most of the activities to do with training, because if any trainer comes in, you need to support the person, pay transport money, allowances, and what have you.
Yeah.
So that's why we're concentrating more on projects now.
Okay.
Yes. So we also want to have collaboration. People who could train our
Partner.
absolutely, yes. So this is a training room as well here.
Wow. So what do you do about security here?
As I mentioned, if you look over there, you can see that light. That's solar powered. That's solar powered light there. There's this, I showed you another one. It's coming in that pole there. Another one is coming there. They will do contribution for community policing.
Okay.
They will have two good Russian Caucasian dogs here.
Okay.
So it helps.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
Sometimes have some petty criminals stealing one or two things, maybe due to hunger or what have you.
Well, it's
So this is the robotic room. We've not used it for some time.
Okay.
So these are some of the robots. You can see the tires here. These are some of them here. So this is a Lego Mindstorm, which you can see this is an example. You see it? Can see it?
Wow.
Tires
and all of
and
this is
everything.
constructed here.
Yes, it's like a Lego. You build it. So all these are the kits.
Okay.
All this you see,
Have lots of them.
they are the kits. All these are building kits. This was donated by a trustee of this very organization, Maureen Ezekwe. She went to Canada, trained specially for this program. And these kits are worth over $10,000. She donated it to the hub.
Wow.
So she's a certified trainer on Lego Mindstorm.
Wow.
So it's actually her own doing. All these cases, all these are made up of all these. I think there's still more there. There's still more.
Wow. So what's this?
No, there's supposed to be a platform here where the kids assemble it and test the robot.
Okay.
And for adults as well.
Okay. Wow.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Viewers, I'm sure you have learned so much from this special documentary. You know, you came here to TD4 Pi Hub, a community hub, you know, that is aimed at, you know, giving young people the opportunity to grow, giving them that stepping stone, giving them that leverage, you know, to become better. Some persons that we interacted with actually say they came in here not knowing what they want to do with their life. But all thanks to Dr. Agu, who has distinguished himself as a great mentor, who has given these young people the opportunity. What are they looking for? They're looking for collaborations, they're looking for sponsorships, they are looking for you, you know, to come and invest, to come and give more young people the opportunity, you know, to learn hardware, programming, and all other projects that they have here. A lot is actually going on here. And if you can watch, this is a rural setting. You know, there is no electricity here, and then the hub community is actually doing a lot, not just for young persons who have come to learn programming or other software programs or hardware. They're also doing so much for the community people, giving them hope. So we need more collaboration. Thank you very much for your time. Keep watching Social Plus Africa, and don't forget to give a young person in your community, in your area, the opportunity to become a better version of themselves. Until we come your way next time with another special feature, it's bye for now.